Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to Children's Church Online. Today, we're going to be learning that we are strong with God. Let's begin today by talking about people that we know who are strong. When someone says to me, "Who is the strongest person you know?" Do you know who I think of? He's green, real muscular. The Hulk, yeah. That's the first image that comes into my mind as somebody who's strong. I think of Hulk and all of his great big muscles and crazy green skin and how he just stomps around and is able to smash things to pieces, right? Who's the strongest person that you know? And you can talk about somebody fictitious like the Hulk, but we also know some pretty strong people too in our lives, right? Yeah. You all know some strong people. People who have big, strong muscles. We can be strong too. And with God, that means we can be brave. It's God who makes us really strong. Today, we're finding out that we are strong with God. That means even when we feel weak, God is with us and gives us power to do great things. God may not give you big, mighty muscles, but He can make your heart bold and brave. So, to participate in today's story, there's two things that you need to know. Number one, you need a piece of paper, preferably a piece of paper that's a little bit stronger, like you can feel how this is a little bit stronger. They call that cardstock paper, but a normal piece of paper would work too, so that you can participate with me. The other thing is I'm going to teach you something. Every time I say, God makes us strong, I want you to repeat it and make big muscles like this, okay? So let's practice that together. Are you ready? God makes us strong. God makes us strong, right? That's what you're gonna do with me, okay? You ready? Got your paper if you want, and you've learned the saying. All right, here we go. The Bible says the Israelites were having a hard time. All the people around the Israelites were being mean to them. The mean people stole their food and everything that they had. So the Israelites ran and hid in the mountains in caves. So we're going to pretend that we're hiding in a cave. So if you're participating with me, take your piece of paper, put it over your head like this and hunker down and pretend that we are the Israelites hiding in a cave, okay? So we're hiding. The Israelites didn't know what to do. They felt weak. Remember, they came and they took all their stuff, they took all their food, they're scared, they're hungry, and they really needed help. So they prayed to God. Please help us, God. So let's pretend we're the Israelites. Put your hands together like you'd be praying, like this, and say it with me. Please help us, God. Please help us, God. So there they are, scared, begging for help from God. And they waited for God to answer. They waited. And they waited. One of their leaders, Gideon was his name, was working one day. So now you're going to take your piece of paper, roll it up. We don't know exactly what kind of work he was doing, but we'll pretend that we're working. Okay, so you got this, and you can just start like you're hammering maybe, pretending that you're working. This is what Gideon was doing, right? So while Gideon worked, a messenger from God came to him and said, God is going to help you. He's going to make you strong. Are you ready? God makes us strong. God makes us strong. But Gideon wasn't sure. He asked the messenger to show him that God would really help. So Gideon waited for God to show him. And he waited. And he waited. And God showed him clearly. Gideon was so excited to know God was there to help him be strong, and that he made an altar for God. Do you know what an altar is? An altar is kind of like a table where you would put gifts to God. So if we take our piece of paper and we fold it into thirds, well, I guess I didn't do a very good job folding that into thirds. I'm gonna have a lopsided table. Okay. Look at my lopsided table. That's okay. As you can see, here's my table. Oops, I guess it was sticking better on here. Refold it. But this could be seen as like an altar where you would place gifts for God sitting on top. Okay? So what kind of gift would you give to God? I think it'd be very challenging to think of a gift to give to God. I mean, He made everything. He knows everything. He'd be a difficult person to give a gift to. Most important when you give a gift to God is that it's a sacrifice. It's something that might be difficult to give away. So maybe your most prized possession you would give to God as a sacrifice. Gideon still felt weak, but God told him, I'll help you beat those mean people attacking you. I'll make you strong. God makes us strong. God makes us strong. Gideon gathered a huge army. That's a lot, but God said, you don't need that many people to help you. You'll be strong with the power that I give you. So Gideon sent away the army men who were scared. Then the army was only about half the size that he had started with. And God told him, that's still too many. God sent many more away until there was only a small group of men left. God helped them be strong. Even though they weren't a big army, God told them to make a circle around their enemies at night. So if you're in a room that's lit up with a lamp or a light, turn the lights off, because now we're going to pretend that it's dark. And Gideon and his small group of army are all gathered together, quiet in the night. And while their enemies were still sleeping, God said, blow your horns and wake them up. So we're going to take this piece of paper once again, and we're going to roll it up and pretend that it's a horn and blowing it. Do, 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 do. Right? So the Israelites blew their horns, and their enemies were startled and scared. They were so confused that they hurt themselves. Then they began running away until there was no one left to hurt the Israelites. So now you can take this and wave that the Israelites have won. Gideon was able to defeat the enemy. God helped them be strong, and God helps us be strong too when we're scared, lonely, or unsure. So today, we're learning that we're strong with God. God makes us strong. God makes us strong. Sometimes it may seem like we're just regular people who aren't big enough or brave enough. God's power in us can help us do big things. Let's see what that looks like. So, here's my children's Bible that I use often with you guys in children's church. And I don't know exactly how much this Bible weighs, but I think you all would agree it's a pretty big book and it's pretty heavy. So we're going to do an object lesson today where I have with me 3 sheets of paper, okay? And we're going to use the paper to hold up this book, the Bible. Now, you might be saying to yourself, how in the world would paper hold up this big, heavy book? That sounds impossible, right? Because this book is heavy and paper isn't really very strong, right? Well, I'm going to show you how, and this is something that you could do at home as well. If you want to participate, you just need 3 pieces of paper and tape, okay? And what you'll do, actually I'm gonna get my tape ready before I do the paper. So you'll need 3 pieces of tape, and I'm using painter's tape because that's what I had, but there's nothing special about the type of tape that you use. Scotch tape, painter's tape, masking tape, whatever, doesn't really matter. But you're gonna roll up your paper, and you want it to be about an inch in diameter. If you don't know what diameter means, it means that you want the circle to be about 1 inch across, and you also want to make sure that it's nice and flat, not off kilter to where you have like a bump at the top. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to do this to all 3 pieces, and they don't have to be perfect. You don't need to get out a ruler to make sure that it's 1 inch diameter, but about that, okay? But you do need to make sure it's nice and flat at the top. If it's not nice and flat at the top, then this won't work very well, okay? So last one, see how it's kind of like not flat? Kind of looks, you have to make sure you push that down like that. Okay. So I've got my 3 rolls. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't practice this. So hopefully this works. You're going to take your 3 rolls. You need a flat surface to work on, like a table, and you're going to make them into a triangle. And your poles, I'm calling these poles, are supposed to be about 6 inches apart, which I think mine are. I also need to make sure my Bible's going to fit. And now I'm going to see if using 3 pieces of paper, I can hold up this Bible without it falling down. Remember, this Bible's pretty heavy. So let's see. Ha! Look at that. Works pretty well. So well, I'd venture to guess that I could even put more things on top of that, and I think it would hold. So you can experiment with that at home if you'd like. Maybe you have lots of books at home and you could stack them up like a tower and see how tall that paper actually is, or how strong it is on how tall you could make a tower, or what the weight would be to hold up using just 3 pieces of paper. Pretty cool, right? You may not have known that paper was that strong. Did it surprise you that it worked? It surprised me, because like I said, I hadn't done it at home, so I was really hopeful that it was going to work. At first, it seemed like paper just might not be strong enough, right? But with some help, we saw that the paper was strong when we taped it up, right? God is the strongest. So when we think we just can't do something, we can pray to ask God for his help. You probably ask grown-ups or friends for help when you need it. But I want to remind you today that you can ask God too. We are strong with God and his help, stronger than we think that we are. Today we're learning that we are strong with God. That means we can do things that seem scary, like Gideon did, fighting those mean, bad people, right? What's something that you would be scared to do? Something I would be scared to do would be to go in a hot air balloon. I don't really like being up high, and there's nothing attached to it. So that seems really scary to me. It seems like things could go wrong and you'd be really high up in the sky. And it seems like it would kind of be fun, but I just don't know if I could do that. I think I would be really scared to do something like that. How about jumping out of an airplane? Would you be scared to do that? I would be really scared to do that. We're going to watch a video today about a girl named Shauna, and she found the strength to tackle jumping out of an airplane. Watch this.
Good morning. It's my really big day. It's the day I'm jumping out of an airplane. I was just practicing, looking down from somewhere high, just pretending like this is the airplane, looking down from our loft. I've been researching, and it turns out that by the time you open the chute, our bodies will be going 120 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. I don't know why I'm doing my hair. It really doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm not really that scared. I'm a lot excited, just a little bit nervous, but I'm actually not scared because I don't think anything's gonna happen. We've got some professionals that I'm jumping with who are gonna train me, latch me to them, and then jump out of a plane. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I'm here
how
to
are
jump
you?
out of a plane.
The important bit, as soon as we exit the aircraft, I need you to arch forward. Arch comes on your hips, looks like this. Hips forward, your legs are gonna be bent.
Okay.
Your hands right back here like this. This is our free fall position when we're in the air.
Okay, maybe I'm just a tiny bit scared. We prayed this morning, and so I feel like he's here with us. He's with our instructors. I feel like God is a huge part of my braveness because God is in control. We can play on this earth, and he has a bigger plan for my life. So this will be good.
Do you remember everything I told you?
Yes.
What's our free fall position? Yeehaw. Right on, let's go skydiving.
Oh, I'm excited. All right, we're getting all hooked up here. It was nothing like I was expecting, and it was amazing.
Yeah, would you do that again?
Yes,
In an
totally.
instant. You did awesome out there. Congratulations.
I'm pretty brave. That took a break. When we stepped out of that plane and I was standing there, I was ready to chicken out. Because I was like, never mind, I don't want to do this. And as soon as we tipped forward, it was just like, here we go. Woo! And it was just like looking out on all of God's creation. You could see all of the mountains. You could see all this entire mountain range. You could just see the earth. Oh, it was so crazy how much you could see and how amazing it looked. That was fun. How's my hair?
Shauna said she almost chickened out right before they jumped. What do you think you'd do? Would you jump? What were some good things that came from Shauna facing her fears? What good things can happen when we face our fears? We are strong with God. Shauna was strong enough to do something scary, and so was Gideon in the Bible. When Gideon did something he was afraid to do and found strength in God, it saved a lot of people's lives. We are strong with God. We are strong with God. And we can do big things too. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.